Hi, it's Tony. Welcome back to Sailing Elleray. Today we're going to have a look, finally, at Elleray II. So, welcome aboard. Getting onto the boat's very easy. You just step off the dinghy and straight up onto the transom. There's a ladder there as well, which comes up obviously. Probably my wife's favourite features, the granny seats at the back. Really comfortable and just a great spot. Keeps your visitors away from the helm and just out of the workings. If you don't want them to be helping you sail, it's probably a good place for them to be. A nice bimini cover. Try and get that for you. It's a double size one. There is no vision up to the top of the mast. I could get a little panel in there, but I couldn't be bothered, to be honest, because sail with instruments. Speaking of which, so the helm. Here we are at the helm. Got the Raymarine Axiom. We had a look at that earlier in an earlier video. I haven't finalised the wiring of that yet. That's coming. Mounting was a little bit difficult, but I used some Railblazer products, and that seems to be working pretty well. I remove this when I'm not with the boat. Handy to the helm is the Morse control there, very handy. Also the Raymarine autopilot there, and obviously the control panel for the engine itself, just right there. Various lockers, one there and one there to port. That's the deck shower. So that's a hot and cold shower there, very handy. Haven't personally showered out here yet, but I have certainly used the cold water and the fresh water treatments. That is the pump, manual bilge pump, and the handle there as well. Moving forward, all the lines come back to the cockpit. So of course we've got the furler there, our main winches, which are self-tailing. It's a little light there, which is handy. Traveller car, 240 volt connection, the usual sailing implements, the winch pockets, sail bags, etc. Cap and top winches, not self-tailing, but as you can see, we've got clutches here, both sides, and they are fabulous. All the lines are new or near new. You've noticed there on top there is the frame for a spray dodger. The spray dodger itself is down below. I apologise, it's not polished up today, but I've just come back from a fairly windy trip down the harbour. Interestingly, the main sheet has two parts of it. There is a main sheet, if you like, and a secondary one here as well, which is like a fine tuner. I'll start from the outset that this is a fractional rig, so the boom is just enormous. Swept back spreaders, top of the mast, the usual aerials. We've got our anemometer for the wind, and our usual telltale up the top there as well. Nice boom, very strong, very big. Did I say that before? Might have. We'll get to the cabin in just a moment. Let's go forward and have a look. Rigging was done, what are we in? We're in September now, so rigging was done only 6 months ago, so very nice. Including chain plates. Moving forward, sailbag and lazy jacks. It's a beautiful thing. Moving further forward, front hatch obviously, a large whisker pole, and coming forward to our Muir anchor winch, or windlass, anchor locker, and there is chain in there. It's all chain. There is no, there's no rope there. That is a Furlex furl. It's just been serviced. The cowling is not on at the moment. After the service, it wasn't replaced, and I've just taken it home because it was a bit messy anyway. Up the front, we've got our nav lights. We've also got a very handy spotlight up the front there, activated by that switch, and that has proven itself handy already with picking up moorings after dark. Very handy indeed. This is one of 3 Genoas that came with the boat, and as we can see, part of the sun, it doesn't go to the top of the mast. In those, if you're not familiar with it, this is what a fractional rig is. The boat also came with a second Dacron Genoa, as well as a racing Genoa, which is laminate of some sort. You'd know better than I would, the black ones, you know, the fancy black sails. I've got one of those as well. Both of those are at home because they are. Anyway, I've just had that one cleaned at VacuWash. I'm not sure if you're familiar with VacuWash. They're based in the northern beaches, and they are just that one had a lot of green on it. It hadn't been out for a little while. Some fresh water had gone in there and it had gone a little bit mouldy, but VacuWash came back almost like a new sail. Fantastic. So just looking back from the bow, very tidy. Boat's been kept in a very, very good condition by its 2 previous owners. Cockpit is a rather large cockpit locker here. Inside that is the fuel tank, many fenders and the like, just the usual stuff that you keep in the cockpit. I apologise again for the wiring. I am going to sort this out. It's currently taking power off the light for the compass, but there will be a proper wiring down through that pedestal very soon. Lovely teak attachment here for drinks, and also for putting the cockpit table in, which is a lovely teak cockpit table that I have down below. All very tidy here, very easy to sail, and yeah, really easy cockpit to work in. Let's head down below. So our washboard, or companionway cover, whatever you'd like to call it, is a thick layer of perspex. Entry to the cabin is not as steep as my previous boat. It's more of a stairway than a ladder. I could go down forward, but I still like to go down facing the stern. So here we are. Entering into the cabin, you're really made to feel welcome. It's a lovely warm cabin. The teak finishing is very high quality, and it's been really looked after over the years. The boat is a 2020, so 23 years this year. Let's have a look in detail. Start the mess first. There is a double starboard quarter berth. It goes all the way back to the stern. The electrical stuff is underneath there, the batteries and stuff under there, and we can see that there are some controllers there as well. Our control panels, nav station, map table. The only addition is mine is this. I have installed that Victron Energy battery monitor, and that's working very, very well. But everything else is standard. Oh, I've also installed this fridge thermometer. Fridge connections are inside there. We won't go to there because it's messy. Engine powered by the venerable 3-cylinder 21 horsepower Nanny diesel. Very, very smooth engine. So here's the main berth. I call it the main berth, double berth, clearly set up for the weekend. What you may notice is that the carpeting on the hull lining is discoloured in parts. As with just about every boat that I've ever heard of, there has been some water in it at some stage. It hasn't been wet for a long, long time. No water gets into here. I'm about in the process of getting a quote to have that replaced. So I guess it just really takes away from the lovely ambience of the cabin. And just yeah, I just don't like it. So I'll be replacing that as soon as I possibly can. I'll have that professionally replaced. I'm not capable of doing that. So let's go forward on the starboard side. We have the world's biggest fridge. Is basically the whole depth of that cabinet you can see there. I wanted an inbuilt fridge. I got an inbuilt fridge. Storage behind there. Storage behind there. Here we are at the galley. We have a Metho stovetop and oven. This is gimbaled, so I can take this out, and that is gimbaled. I've used that a couple of times, very handy. These are not made anymore, so if you have one of these on your boat, they are pulling big money online. I've had a look already. I want to mention this light here. When I walked onto the boat, I saw this cover and I thought, that's interesting. It's not until you actually try and cook on the stovetop without that cover on that you realise how good it is. So you're not blinded by the light coming straight into your face. It's actually diverted straight onto your cooktop. So good idea, previous owner. Built-in bin, obviously bench top, hot and cold mixer tap, storage below, and I didn't mention storage below the oven as well. Keeping moving on the starboard side, we go forward to our main saloon. Water tank underneath there, 100-litre water tank underneath there. The port light here and also on the port side, it's got a little bit of crazing in it, so I will be replacing that at some stage. Our table, fold-up table, one of the leaves folds up there at the port side. Compression post. And our V-berth. That section there can be put up to the top or just left there as a seat as I've got it. Again, I've got some storage there, jackets and things there. Moving on to the port side now, coming back. Moving rearward, you'll note some curtains. They're on both sides. There's a curtain track there. So if you have guests, maybe they might be staying in the V berth or even on one of these lounges there. Oh, I forgot to mention another 100 water litre tank under there. You can close these off and give some kind of separation, which is nice. More storage, bench top, more storage below, including cutlery drawer there. Moving rearward now, we have our head, lovely enclosed head, and you can see there we have your normal head, macerating pump, electric control, very nice, noisy but very nice, and hot and cold water there, of course, as per usual. That tap can come out of there and be placed onto that, and there's your shower. And you'll see in a video coming up that there has been some lacquering done by yours truly, but there's plenty of room there. There is a little hatch there which is great for ventilation in the head. And here we are back at the main berth here. Boat, as mentioned before, I think somewhere has previously been raced, so there is some brag plates there at the back, and I'll be leaving those up there because it's all part of the history of the boat. I wanted some nicer finishes. We've got some nice padding there at the rear of the cabin, which is quite nice. So let me talk about some of my favourite features of the boat. I like that the boat is open plan. A lot of boats these days sell themselves on, oh, it's got 3 cabins or whatever. What a lot of people don't realise is that most of those boats were designed for the hire fleet, where you want to get 1, 2 families, or you know, 2 or 3 young couples who want to hire a boat, and that's great. That's perfect, and you want some privacy. But that's what it's designed for. This was not designed for that. And I like the fact that it is open plan, and it really gives you a space that you can be happy in. When my wife first came aboard, one of the first things she says was, "Wow, it doesn't feel claustrophobic." I've got the curtains there as previously demonstrated, and you can close that area off if you like the saloon and the V berth if that's what you want to do. But apart from that, it's a nice airy space. So that's one of the first things I like about the boat. Secondly, I like the teak work, and they really have gone to town on it up in the saloon area, which is a lovely place to spend some time. My favourite feature down below, though, I have to say, are these port lights in the hull. There's nothing better than being able to sit here and be able to see out. I almost feel like sometimes you're in a submarine when you're on a sailing boat, because you're sitting down below the windows and all you can see is the sky, and it's just lovely to be able to sit here and look out the window. You're close to the water. It's just a nice thing to be able to do. Often one of the big questions is height, head height. I'm 6 foot. I've got probably about that much in the main area of the cabin. I can keep going standing at my full height until about that curtain track there. Once I'm past that, I can stand up, but realistically, if you are 6 foot, anything past basically those curtains, you're not going to be able to stand up. Things I don't like about it, things that annoy me. Firstly, I hate things that I can bump my head on, and I have to say, these lights, you don't bump your head on this one because it's above the berth, but this one where I'm coming in to get stuff out of there. Yes, so I don't like that. Map tables, in my estimation, in my humble opinion, unless you're racing across oceans, generally speaking, I think they're a waste of time and a waste of space, a valuable waste of space. There are a heap of things in the tray underneath there, a heap of things which are handy, but I don't think it's a very good use of space given the main purpose of this boat. The fridge is simply too big. I know that sounds weird, but the fridge is too big. The fridge could be half this size, make more use of the storage, and that would be better. And that's really about it. I don't think there's anything else that I don't quite get along with. I'm particularly happy with the boat, and it is going really, really well. I look forward to a heap more sailing adventures on it. What's fairly obvious is that the previous owners were neither negligent and, probably just as important, poor. Anything that needed to be attended to was attended to, and attended to properly, and that's very reassuring. I look forward to making the boat my own and adding my own little touches to it. Yeah, so thanks a lot for coming on board Elleray II. I look forward to, at the next haul out, to having the hull buffed up, and then I'll get the name on the side, and then we'll be home and host. Thanks again. See you again soon. Bye.